Okay, here goes. I just gotta get this out of my head. It's gonna kind of drive me nuts. Trying to go away on this vacation here, and clearing my mind, and part of that process is starting now. I was this came up in therapy of all things, and I realized how agitated I was by it, and I, thought it would be something I should get out of my head and share with people. It's the Israeli Palestinian conflict. I'm sure it bothers a lot of people, and for someone like myself who is of Jewish descent and remembers family members from my past that I know who fled Nazi Germany, and have a lot of deep respect and for the trials and tribulations Jewish people have gone through. It bothers me greatly, everything that's going on out there in that area of the world. Obviously, I deplore the tactics that have been done that started this thing, but it really bothers me. The thing that really bothers me the most is the fact that the Palestinian this should have been a done issue in 2000, and it bothers me that the youth of this country, and most of the people, I think, are just completely ignorant of history, completely, utterly ignorant of history, particularly the young. I know my children are. I see what they were taught in high school. It's ridiculous. Okay, it's pathetic. And I don't think the colleges are much better. But this is a pretty easy look up for anybody who wants to go back and verify it. But the Palestinians were given their two-state solution back in 2000 at the Oslo Accords with Clinton and the Arab, who brokered a deal between Yasser Arafat and I think it was Yitzhak Rabin. Anyway, look it up. 2000 Oslo Accords. Everything the Palestinians wanted, they were given. They were given Gaza. They were given the West Bank. They were given East Jerusalem, including Bethlehem as their capital. They were given everything they wanted at that time, except for one thing. And over that one thing, Yasser Arafat of the PLO walked off the table at the signing table of the choreographed event for the signing of the. It was a devastating blow for Bill Clinton. Let me tell you, it was bad. But it fell apart because the one thing the Palestinians wanted was what's called a right of return. I'm doing this for the education of our youth. It's called the right of return. So for what that means is anyone at the time of Arab descent that had family and property in Israel proper when it was recreated by the UN would be granted immediate citizenship and their descendants, which would destroy the Jewish state. It was something that the Israelis could not agree to, and that was the drawing. It was the part where they and I believe, and please look it up, because I think it's still to this day. If that's the end goal of what the Palestinians want for their two-state solution, people, there's never going to be one. Okay, it doesn't work for anyone, and frankly, it disgusts me. There's just so much violence and bloodshed at this time, and all this with this thing when it can be that over that easy. The people who live in the areas that they now have defined as their areas. That's their area, and they have their culture, and they have their governance, and they are their Jewish state, and they are their Arab state, and that's the end of it. So just end the idea of the right of return. I think I'm right. Anyways, look it up. I had to get it out of my head. It's one of my things. I'm going to be posting a little bit more about political stuff because it's important to me. Has been for a long time, and I'm usually pretty good when it comes to history. So I hope this helps people, and you post it, and maybe we can get on the right side of our history here, because obviously what Hamas has done and the brutality of attacking totally in the way that it was done is just it is terrorism, and that kind of thing can never stand, and it's absolutely the wrong way, but there is a solution, and the parties can do it right now. So Let's go back to the Oslo Accords. No right of return.